Oh, there she is. With what
Okay,
particular
yeah.
girl? Do you have are you broadcasting from your booty?
No, it had to have been my Android, my other phone. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's tripping out.
Well, you need to call Macintosh or you need to
I
call
need to
Verizon.
call AT&T because that's
Mhm.
crazy.
Anyway, so what I'm saying to you is, and I was just giving a small update, and I was
I
in the
was
middle.
listening. I'm quiet. Go ahead,
Okay,
continue.
so if to me, apologies are excuses to repeat behaviors if you don't change. Apology to me is to signal that you've done something that has hurt someone else, even if you have a reason. It's an acknowledgement. This, this. I'm hurt by this, and once hurt happens, you can never control somebody else's retaliation, which is another thing. You can't decide how I'm going to contend with my pain. You can't decide that. So it is very short-sighted for anyone to think that you can solve anything in this world outside of yourself. Now, my mother's on here, which is her grandmother. Hey, Viv. And what I will say is this, Vivian's on here, which is what I will say this. Um, my mother and I are a great example. We talk openly. We've talked openly. And now I'm at the point in my life, which is what I was telling Moniece earlier. I don't want to talk about the incidents, the issues of what has exactly happened and recounting, because that doesn't, what matters is what is the core reason? What made you do this? What made me do this? Why am I responding like this? Because I'm the only one I can control. I can only fix me. So I've had to apply that in my marriage. I've had to apply that with my kids. I've had to apply that with my grandbabies. I've had to apply that with my friends. I've had to apply it in life. And then it's tough to accept somebody for who they truly are. And then you have to say, does this work for me? Because there's a lot of things I would do different as a mother. And none of them include, putting her back and starting over. It means what could I have done different? And you start off your life parenting from the position of what you've experienced as a kid being parented. I had to break from that. And I wish that I had been able to see more of what Moniece really was versus what I was projecting that I wanted her to be. That's a big statement, but it's true. So I see potential. What I saw was a drop dead gorgeous little baby girl. She was smart. She was funny. She was super talented. She was everything she touched was gold. She was always good with fashion. She was always good with makeup. She was always good. She could sing. She didn't get that shit from me. And Dave's not her biological father, and her dad can't sing in the can in an alley and make the cats come eat. She didn't get that from him. So these were things that God gave her. And I think that there's also a lot of pressure to be um girl, where do you work for the airlines?
Who, me?
Yeah, with all that typing.
No, I'm listening. Not
she,
not meet
you,
the parents.
she's meet the parents. All you hear is this.
I'm sorry. Uh, I'm listening.
So all I'm saying is that we have to find our own balance. And like I told Moniece, I will always be your mother, but girl, lady girl, I am no longer mothering you. You are 38.
Yes, she is, you guys.
I'm not.
Yes, she is.
I quit.
Yeah, no, she doesn't.
I
She,
did. I
first of all,
am.
first
I'm
of all,
out.
I'm gonna interject. Mom said I always overtalk. I'm gonna interject right here. M- First of all, Marla couldn't not parent if she tried her hardest.
You haven't seen me with
She
the
doesn't.
baby.
She doesn't know. And here's how I know. I don't care what she says. Me and my sister both have kids. My brother doesn't. So when it comes to me and my sister, the relationships that we each have with Marla are polar opposites, right? But Marla's gonna parent. No matter, she can't help herself. Whether she's parenting her own mom and saying, "Mom, guy is 82 feet tall, you can't pick him up." Da, 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 da. Or whether it's Moniece, you need to her style of parenting is gonna change depending on the child she's
I just
parenting.
said
But
I'm always
she
gonna be
can't.
your. I said I'm always
That's
gonna be your
not.
mother,
That's not. I heard you. That there's a difference.
but I'm not gonna be mothering you.
Marla's mothering, and Marla will never not mother, hover, or smother. She can't help herself.
Did she just call me a hover mother smother?
I absolutely did, and I said it to her. For the record, you guys, we were in therapy at one point, and I said, because my mother said, when your shit keeps landing on my doorstep, and I said to her, you could easily return the package to sender. You don't even have to open
I
it.
don't pick up bags of
There
shit.
is no exact. You not
Don't drop it off because it's my doorstep. Those are my rules. It's my doorstep.
right. And so if a package is delivered to your doorstep that is not addressed to you,
Uh,
you have the power to not even open the package.
when your
You
kid,
can literally say, she doesn't
when
live
your
here.
daughter
Take
drops
it
it
back.
off, when your
I
daughter
didn't
drops
drop
it
it off.
off.
I didn't drop it off. AD dropped it off. Drew dropped it
Okay,
off.
why, bye.
Emil dropped it off.
Let's keep it to us because this is where we get lost in the woods.
No, but no, let's be honest. I
I know,
come to
but
you.
Moniece, here's the thing. See,
I do come to you, Mom.
I'm not saying that. Just here, hold on. I want this. I want people to see how differently we think on the same issue. Yes, you are right about what you're saying, but guess what? We have in common. All those mofos are in my life because of you. I didn't.
And
Hold
so when I
on.
get rid of the
Hold on.
mofo, you get rid of the
Hold on.
mofo.
I didn't nan near one day date AD, have a baby with Drew, sleep with Emil, all the bullshit that happens. And Moniece, there's a thing called family. And because I love you, you invite me to and dad, and our family is always extended by your request. Now
Correct.
all of it, okay, so all of a sudden when you're through and
Yes,
there's all kind of
we're all through.
explosions,
The
Monique,
same way we were all through with Michael Fu, who lived with me.
listen,
What do you mean?
we still talk to food.
That's ridiculous.
Lexi's okay. That's what Lexi.
And that's Mom. But
We're
I'm
not
not
hanging out with food,
Lexi.
but we don't have an issue with food because food and that.
Mom, I'm not. This is my thing. I'm not Lexi.
I
When
listen,
I get rid of someone, we're all done. When
but
my sister was done with Fu could. I
listen.
unfollowed him. No one told me to. No one asked me to. No one demanded me
Yes,
to.
calm down.
I'm calm. What I'm saying is, we're all your children are different. I operate
So
differently,
is your mother.
but I'm the reason they were there. So when I'm saying I'm done, it shouldn't matter what they say.
It's not,
Because the same way you said earlier, they weren't
Moniece.
raised with you, they weren't raised by me, they didn't live with you growing up. You weren't in those relationships.
Can I get you to understand something? No, I'm not. And I understand that. But let me explain this to you so you can be very clear. These are also situations, and let's be honest. When you, I don't like to go into,
Situationships.
I said, I'm not the relationships.
Oh, I thought you said
No,
situationships. I was like, don't do
and
me like
I'm
that.
Dr. Trevor's in the middle of working on my mouth. These are temporary and I hate them, but it's what it is.
Oh, you got Tim's?
I have temps.
Jatera and her boyfriend went to him too.
Yeah, I'll be back on Tuesday for him to finish. So
Tuesday as in
4 days. It was supposed to be
I'm back on Sunday.
it was supposed to be the 23rd, and I was supposed to come on the 22nd and then come home on the 23rd. Now I'm gonna come on,
And he charged you, right?
of course. Who does work for free?
Dr.
You're
Trevor.
you're special. I didn't get that. No, I'm
Oh
paying.
no, I didn't get it either.
Oh, I got charged.
After I made him famous. And we've talked about it, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Now see, stop right there. You just did it.
No. It's a fact. I told it to his face already.
I know, but
Privately.
we don't want to do that here.
Okay, you're right. I'm tripping.
Keep it to his face.
I was emotional in that moment. You're right.
That's what in other words,
No
that's not
excuse. You're right.
it's not comfortable for me. So
And I apologize for putting you in that position. Carry
okay.
on. Let me be quiet.
So all I'm saying to you is that when it's all said and done, and when even with Drew back in the day, if we're honest, you were saying, "Mom, I'm pregnant. Call him." I said, "Moniece, he's done. Be done."
Uh,
Just hold on until you show me the pregnancy test. But what I'm trying to tell you is,
no,
my
carry
thing.
on with that. You said
I,
until I show you
you
a
did
pregnancy test.
because every time, even with AD, once you get into a situation and you get out of control with yourself, then you want me every time. She has my such and such. Oh, Mom? I'm telling you, I need you to call her. You're done. So what I'm saying to you is, what I'm saying. This has happened.
Carry on with Drew. This is I'm so glad you brought it up.
No, I
You
don't know.
said,
But listen,
why don't you want to carry on? Carry on.
because again, we'll be in the woods.
We
The
won't be in
issue
the woods. You said unless I showed you a pregnancy test. You.
because you were trying to ask me.
You. No,
You were
what happened
asking
was
me to
I
call
called
him.
Drew. No, I called Drew and I left a message on the house phone and he called you.
No,
I didn't, Mom.
he didn't talk to me at all until after you came back from Atlanta. I never spoke to him. You left. You were angry
Mom,
and you
the
left.
day I left, that was the day you said he'll show up when you show me a pregnancy test. And I said to you, I didn't lay down and make a
But
baby
he's
with you. So if he's not here before my flight, I'm leaving.
okay. We again, we see the details. That's why I don't like the
Yeah,
details.
okay. Then we'll see it differently.
But what I'm also saying to you is this: you can't have it. You can't pin the tail on the donkey both ways. That's all I'm saying. So, in other words, because you have an issue with being emotionally regulated when you're angry, are you still here? Are you frozen? Because you look frozen. She's frozen. She's spinning. Because there's an issue with Moniece's temperament with herself, and that's not my personality. Come back. I'll wait. Because that's the issue. Then, as her mother, all the way as far back as high school, junior high, she would get into issues and say something crazy, and the next thing you know, we're all involved by her request or to save her. So don't that has been the history of our relationship. And so my thing is, at some point, if you're gonna if you're gonna deal in whatever relationships, dirt, whatever, and those are your dealings, deal in that. It has nothing to do with me. And that's what we were talking about earlier. Let's get to the root cause. The root cause is no matter what happened, whatever it was or wasn't, it didn't involve, I was not the cause of your issue. I didn't do it to you. So what I'm really saying is there's a level of accountability that has to happen for us to be healthy. And so that's the bottom line. You can't you can't keep asking me to be Ray Donovan and being the fixer. And I quit. I retired. Oh, here she is. You're
You
back. Yeah.
listen, you
All right.
listen here, Dexter. When I tell you to hack a nigga, you hack a nigga.
See.
You listen here, Olivia Pope.
So what
When I
I'm
tell
trying to
you to
do, what I'm
shoot,
trying to
when
tell
I
you, what
tell
I'm
you to
saying is
shoot
this.
him up
And
with cyanide, you shoot him up with
in a
something.
minute, you're gonna get a timeout.
When I say
And I don't, and I'm really good at it now because your baby nephew is a
you
mess. And so don't make me
you
give you a pow
listen here,
pow.
Mike Corleone, the godmother.
You don't
When I
realize it,
say
but
when I say you make him sleep with the fishes, you put him in the river.
no. So
Yeah.
we are, and let me tell you this: Moniece and I have a lot of similarities, but we have a lot of our.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. We have a quick
No.
wit. We have a we, but we are different souls. We are. I don't have the ability to be. I
Don't
can't.
let her fool you. Marla punched me in the head.
I slapped you.
See, now this is a prime example of
I
there's
slapped the shit out of you.
There's my truth, and then there's the truth. And in this
I
instance,
slapped the shit out of
my
you. So
truth is the truth. She punched me.
Moniece, I'm strong. So you probably thought a slap was a punching
No,
because
you
the
punched
phone
me, and
flew
the
out of your hand.
phone
The phone flew
shattered.
off the other side. I'm right here. I'm in
She punched
public.
me, guys.
Come
Punched
get
me in
me.
the head.
She was disrespectful as hell. I
I
take it. I've
was.
had
I was.
enough.
Let me tell
She
you guys
just
what happened.
no.
She
Listen,
made me.
now you brought it up. I'm gonna finish it. So
I'm
she's
gonna own it. Let me own it, and then you finish it. I don't remember what prompted it, but
because
I ended up getting on the phone with my biological
yes,
father,
and while I was in the
and I
middle
was
of this
talking crap
yes,
about my mother, and I walked outside. Now my mother and my father were generous enough to get my sister, my brother, and myself our own phone line, and we each had our own phone in our room. I had the green see-through VTech cordless phone,
that's you sure did. That's a fact.
and so this is how good my memory is, right? So I don't remember though what exactly I had gotten in trouble for, but I was in trouble. And I called my biological father, one, because I knew that was going to really set my mother off. Just the fact that I called to vent, let alone the fact that I was being disrespectful, let
That's right.
alone the fact that I called
She's good
myself
though. She's good.
going out to the front yard and knowing she was going to follow me.
She
She
does.
she came up behind me. Now our front door at the Sylvan house, it used to creak when you would open it, no matter how fast or slow. So I
I got
heard
it.
the
I
door,
was in your face.
but I had gone outside first, and I
Yeah, you
heard her
outside.
come out. I heard her come out, and the reason I knew she was coming out was because that front door used to creak, no matter how fast or slow. It was a heavy,
I wasn't trying to sneak up
like,
on you.
exactly. I'm not saying you were. I'm just saying I knew,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't move. I didn't flinch, but I knew
Mm-hmm.
she was coming because I heard the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard the door close. And then she said something. And then all of a sudden, I had the phone on this ear, my right side. And it just was like, ding, 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 ding. Phone shattered.
It flew
Ear was
across the
ringing.
yard, hit the
Face
tree, and
was
broke.
red. Phone went into the grass. The whole nine. She punched me. And she'll say to this day that she smacked me. A smack. Now, if you know anything about that VTech cordless phone, somebody Google that shit. It's thick as hell. You can't
But
smash it
first
with
of
a
all, it
smack.
flew off the other side of your head. I didn't even hit the side that the phone was on. Second of all, I'm strong, Moniece, and if I had punched you at 16 with the much force as I slapped the shit out of you, your teeth would have been knocked out.
Y'all, I lied about my report
Facts.
card. My
Matter of
mom,
fact, she fell to the ground and she was so disrespectful. And here's the thing: by the time I clocked her, I'd been putting up with so much. And I was in the middle of talking to her when she walked out, and I said, Moniece, and she got on the phone, and I was like, oh, and I was so angry that she was so freaking disrespectful that I'm not proud, but I did slap the hell out of her, and she hit the ground. She hit the ground, and I was so angry at that point. The phone was in a billion pieces.
fuck,
Do we need to call 911?
I just choked. Oh God, I'm choking on spit. Help! Ugh. Continue,
So
carry on.
what I'm saying is, she fell to the ground,
I
and I
did
walked, and I stepped over her, and as I crossed
all
over,
her might,
I
all her
said,
might.
"Don't ever disrespect me like that again.
I
I've
did,
had enough."
and I sat there like this.
She said, She came in. You put in my eardrum. You put in my eardrum. Ah."
And you guys, then there was one time that I lied about my report card or getting an F or something. She flew across the hallway. I'll never forget it. She flew across the hallway like Superwoman with both hands out and punched me in my arm. And my dad was like, Marla. And then she accused us of lying one time
Right
when none
now,
of us were lying.
this is what you're doing. You're absolving yourself of being a tyrant child
No,
that needed
I've
the
always
discipline.
now hold on. Anybody in here who's followed me, Marla's blocked from my main page, and I have hundreds of thousand people blocked. I can't find her to unblock her. But have I not always told you guys I was ridiculous? And I've told them, I said I was absolutely ridiculous for sure. And Cam got it honest for 100%. But what Cam has that I don't have, while Cam does have a fear of being in trouble, Cameron will break down and tell the truth before I ever could. I'm going to the grave Cam with the ridiculousness. Cam doesn't have that. And I have owned that. And so it's funny, but it's not funny. And I've also said I can understand why my parents, even as an adult, have felt like, okay, this has happened, that has happened, there's been a pattern. I've never negated that. Maybe I've negated it to you privately, but as I've grown and I'm just in a different space, I have publicly acknowledged like there's been a lot. I have lied for
Okay, so
sure
so let me say
about
this.
heavy things. But the best one was when mom accused us of lying about the report cards, and none of us were actually lying on this particular time. Not that we haven't lied before, because we had. And she was dead ass wrong, and we couldn't wait to mold her, y'all.
Shut up, Valerie.
And we got in the car on our street. Mom pulls up and she's on her cell phone. She's like, yeah, here they are now. Y'all, we got in the car. She said, she turned around, she talked about, I said, well, no, first she pulled up, she said, yeah, here they are now. Oh, so you guys thought you were going to hide you thought I forgot? It's progress report day. And I was like, you were late picking us up. We walked home. I drove both routes. And I said, Mom, we took the flat because we had Calvert, which was a hill. And then we would take Manton, which was a flat route. Right? So we had the flat way. We called it the flat route and Calvert.
Yeah,
And so
Calvert
I
had a
said,
hill.
Mom, we took the flat route. No, you didn't. I drove the flat route. I said, well, clearly we did. We're home. And she said, get in the car. I said, why? The house is right there. Get in the car. We got in the car. She gonna turn around on her phone talking about, yeah, here they are right here. She gonna turn around talking about, you guys thought I forgot? It was progress report. Give me the progress report. She's parked in mind you, we're 2 driveways down from the house.
He couldn't wait.
We
It
all
was an emergency.
We all give her the progress report. She gonna say, "You can't pull the wool over my eyes. I am the original badass." Tight black mom lip with the spit. We cracked up. Oh, it's funny. Oh, it's funny. And none of us had anything lower than a C. Molded. We couldn't wait.
So what?
We could. That was the one time we were like, "Yeah, got her."
You know what? I'm a survivor. I have survived you guys. You guys are
And
Moniece.
we survived you.
Ah,
And we survived you.
you're welcome.
And you're welcome. Now you know how to deal with your grands. Way not know
First
how
of
to
all,
deal, but now you're more relaxed. I'll say you're,
you don't even know this new baby. He's of another breed.
yeah, because he's Lexi's son.
He's now doing us like this. I said yesterday, who are you waving your finger at? He said, I'm boss. I said, no, you're not my boss. He's a whole thing.
I'm
He
sure.
is. Anyway, and by the way, those are my grandkids. And so there's one word here.
Exactly. So now
Option.
you're a lot more calm, and they're gonna get away with a lot more. And Guy's gonna get away with a lot more than Cam got away with because Cam lived with you.
That's true.
So Cam
But Cam is a
didn't
sweetie.
get. Cam is absolutely sweet, but Cam didn't
Cam's
get his
spirit is so. I
pure.
mean, when we're together, he just melt. He's just
Hmm.
But Guy is like he told your grandmother. He told Mimi, no, you go upstairs and shut the gate and put her out of the den and put her in the other room and shut the gate on her and said, no, you can't come down here and play. Go
Tequila
out.
35 said, Marla, who's the worst child of all of the 3? She'll
Oh,
say me.
definitely Moniece, without a shadow of a doubt.
DJ tried to kill her, but I'm the worst.
Hold on now. She said child. Now, as an adult, and I can't. We're not going to do that because, and this is. I want to say this to parents.
Don't
Don't feel
do that,
don't
Mom.
don't feel bad about the fact that no parent. And somebody said this the other day, a doctor, and I thought that was brilliant. No parent, no child gets the same parent, and no parent gets the same child because you're born different people. And we spend a lot of time trying to level the playing field. Well, you did this for one, you did this. You needed different things. And I didn't catch up to that reality till way
DJ
late.
was a menace as a child,
But
at least to me.
but let me tell you the difference, Moniece. And
At
then if
least
you
to
want,
me.
can you please
He
hear
was your boy, joy boy,
that
but to me, he was a
the
fucking
spirit is
terrorist.
different. You have DJ was actually a loving, happy kid. You would
He was
wake
a
up in the
terrorist
morning,
to me, though.
Moniece. You would wake up in the
After
morning.
you terrorized me, and why can't you just accept that?
I've heard
Because
you
I'm
say,
not an evil person. When I woke up,
I
which
didn't
is
say
what you're
evil.
about to tell,
I didn't say evil.
when they would say, "What's wrong with you?" and I would say, "You woke up this morning," they were fucking with me endlessly.
Okay.
And when I came to Dad, well, that's just what little brothers do. No, this is some different shit.
So like they asked me, and I was just telling them, so everything I say that is relative to me is a trigger for you, so I can't say.
No,
Go ahead.
you're right. Let me be quiet. And honestly, I'm not even being sarcastic. That's a bad habit that I have. Even in interviews, let me be quiet. I have a bad habit of over talking people and over trying to over explain. So I apologize, and I'm not
No,
even being
you're not.
mean.
That's a fair question. I'm glad that I can answer it in that way because it's not. They were all very different. And so, for example, I've said a million times, DJ got involved with drugs, and even Moniece and Dee will both say Moniece has lied to me and done some crazy stuff when she was growing up. DJ has done the same. What everyone agrees with is that it was never Lexi. That's a fact. So
True.
that's a fact. So the issue that I'm really saying is, which is what is interesting, because right now, Lexi and I still talk about the fact Lexi is very controlled and what I have more fun. I'm worried about you.
Don't be.
I am. Are you? What are you? What are you doing? Are you transitioning? Are you
Just growing all my hair out.
like all over your body?
Bush too is
Are
crazy.
you? Do you have chest hair?
I have three really long nipple hairs on the left nipple.
Okay, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah.
Um, did you give up on cute? You don't want to. You don't want to do it anymore.
Um, Pretty much. Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
it's
so
cool. No one's seeing it but me, so it's
you used
just.
to be super. Well, no, everyone's now seen it. There it is.
Well, no, not my. I mean, on a day-to-day basis, like my privates and stuff. No
Do you
one.
think this is going to go away? It's going to be on the internet forever. I was wondering.
I'm talking about like my bush, my leg hair, my mustache, the hair on my head, my brows.
Are you
Mhm.
trying to be
I'm growing it out on purpose.
primitive? Are you try? Are you going somewhere
No, I
that
just am
like?
tired I'm just tired.
Are you going on some kind of a jungle excursion? Like, is there something I didn't know about?
No, I just look at my brows. I'm just in a mode where we just don't need to do all those things all the time.
Are you
And if you,
showering? I'm just asking essential questions now. Are you
yes, I
actually
got my
bathing
initial
yourself? Are you
tears.
actually washing
I
your
got my
essential
initial tears,
parts?
and now I've upped my showers to 2 times a day
Nice.
because
So
you
we
have to
need.
keep
So
the nipple
there's no
piercings
bacteria.
clean.
It's just growth.
Just growth, yes, and because you have to keep the nipple piercings clean. They're not my piercings aren't even 2 months old, so I have to clean them twice a day.
That's
So I
good.
get twice a day. I comb through my bush though, and I shampoo it with Dove. And then when I get out, I squeeze dry it. And because I've never had booty cheeks, but now I have booty cheeks, I had to call Christy and say, how do you, because for some reason my booty crack never feels fully dry.
Can we talk
So she
about
said
this?
you just put the towel in between your booty crack while you get dressed. And so now put the towel in between my booty crack and I let my bush finish air drying. But I only showed you that because my
Because
trazodone,
why?
because my trazodone is kicking in and I'm feeling kind of crazy.
You should
So
take a nap.
I'm gonna not a nap. I'm out of town and I'm 2 hours ahead, so I'm gonna go to
Okay.
sleep.
All right. So this is what I'm going to say before I end. Exactly, Val. Number one, Valerie and I are inviting you if you'd like.
Who's
We are.
Valerie?
You know exactly. You remember? You remember Channing? Channing Chia?
Of course.
That's his mother, and she has a show.
Okay. I apologize, Val. I'm sure I have met you several times,
You
but
have,
in
but
my youth.
anyway, she has a show called the B. Lenore Show. Mimi and I are gonna. We're having a show on Sunday at
Oh
5.
no. I blocked her, no.
Okay. Well, we're doing a show on estrangement, and I would love to have your perspective because we're talking
No,
about parents who estrange and
no,
kids who estrange.
because when you did that YouTube with her, no.
I think that we
I
should.
won't
I
be
think that
doing
we
that.
should be
Because
fair. But she
I
didn't
should
say.
have
But she's
did.
very neutral.
She's neutral,
You're
kind
mad
of.
at me. No, she's
I'm
neutral
not
because
mad at her and I'm not mad at you. My thing is there was too much said about me without me being present
Get present.
with evaluations and diagnoses and all the things. And I don't appreciate that.
So you're bitter.
I'm not bitter. I'm saying how I felt about it then, and I'm not over it yet. So
Okay.
maybe in the future,
No
but as of
worries.
right now,
So for
absolutely
everybody
not.
else, we'll be talking about estrangement. And when my conversation is interesting with Mimi because, like Moniece knows, my mother did leave when I was 14 and said she was going to work. Is
Yes,
this is this a
validation.
product of your medication or are you just
Yeah, because when you don't go to sleep, as soon as you get sleepy, you start to get high.
okay?
But Valerie, yes, I blocked you on YouTube, I believe. My attorneys actually made me block you. And we downloaded the video first and
She's
then
correct. She never said anything negative and still does not.
you didn't. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm not, hold on. I'm not mad at you, Miss Valerie. And I apologize if I'm coming off disrespectful. You know, I love Channing. Channing's been in my home for game nights. That's my little cousin as far as I'm concerned. You know, I love Uncle Vinny. You know, I love my dad. So I also love you. That was a very sensitive time for me. And I'm healing one thing at a time. And I'm in trauma therapy specifically now. And I've left my long-term therapist, Dr. Harrell. And I've been with this trauma therapist for almost 2 years now. So I'm just unpacking things one at a time. So just let me get to, in trauma therapy, I'm not at the most recent stage of all the things that caused that, if that makes sense.
So let
And
me end with this. So
I'd like to personally heal from that so I can come into it. If that, am I making sense?
you're making perfect sense, and that's great.
Okay.
We just wanted to extend the invitation because the conversation would warrant that we think you have valuable input. If you so should choose, no problem.
And I appreciate wanting to
Um,
include me this time,
at
but
5 o'clock on Sunday, we
I
will
would
be
also
on the V
like to
Lenore
be left
show.
out of the conversation. I
Okay,
agreed to do this because I love
and
my mother
so
and my father, but I don't want to be
and
a
so
content.
and so, what I'm going to end with is saying this: respecting who we are and our differences, and the word is respect.
My lips are so chapped.
You can be who you are without being disrespectful. Hey, Mary, I'm good. And tearing somebody else down. And at the end of the day, there's nothing in my makeup, Moniece, that can cause me to not love you. But I have gotten to the point, and I encourage you as well to protect my peace because I don't want to fight, and I don't want to be afraid of. Uh, I have to. Our personalities and the way we move through life, it causes me to have to not to literally choose your process over
Now,
my.
Mom, I disagree.
But I'm just
Higher
telling
now.
you until I can't anymore because after a while, what I realize is it's the
And
same
I'm
in my. Hold on, hold your cheeks down. It's the same in my relationship with even with Dad. I mean, after a while, I will lose myself because if I love you, I'm trying to find levity in myself to go, okay, I can give in here. I can keep finding ways to be pliable here. I can keep, which is why I got in trouble to begin with. That's what I was telling you. I've always come to your rescue with your relationships. And then until it gets to be ridiculous, and then I'm like, okay, but people are being hurt here. And I'm part of it because I'm connected to you.
being hurt.
But Moniz, you have to okay. I wish Dad was on
And
here because
I'm not saying that I don't stand up for myself. I'm not saying my mouth isn't reckless. I'm not saying if they go low, I'm going to hell. I'm not saying any of those
you
things.
called Dad over to your house when you were dating AD, and in the middle of the
And I did, and
conversation,
I punched her
no,
and hit her with a fruit basket.
you threw a Staffordshire, a
It
stone
wasn't
thing,
it was a fruit basket, and it was empty, and it had a hook on it. And I
and
grabbed
Dad
it with
said
my right
Dad
hand.
had to duck, and the
Yes,
bottom line,
yes,
right?
he
But
did.
what?
And guess what? Before it got to that point, you know what Dad said? AD, please, just stop. And he was trying to shut her up, and I was walking away, and Dad said, Moniece, focus on me, because you know how Dad is usually able to calm me down. He said, focus on me. Listen to the sound of my voice. AD, please stop it. She's walking away. Just let her go. And then she brought up Cam, and that's when I came back. and I grabbed the fruit basket, and Dad said, Moniece, no. And I
Okay. Okay. So
did,
what I'm saying,
what you told me.
what
I
I'm
did
saying
though.
to you, what I'm saying to you is this.
I did. I hit her with the fruit basket.
You
That's
can
true.
be, we can make different choices. And what I'm saying to you is the way you manage your anger and your temper and your reckless mouth,
Crazy. It's
it
crazy.
it makes me I don't, it's uncomfortable for me. And that instability for me is not good for me. And it certainly doesn't bring me peace.
I'm
So
sorry.
that's so that's all I'm saying. So what I'm saying to you is
That
I have to,
reminds me of the
I'm
time I
ask
got married.
I'm asking you to consider who I am and how I move through life and see if there's something in you that can meet me in a neutral spot. Girl, goodbye.
No, wait, Mom. No, stop. I'm listening. If there's something, I'm sorry. I'm listening though. You said I'm asking you if there's something in you that can meet me.
I'm just saying meet me in a neutral spot. And like I said, we should end so you go to sleep.
No,
But
no,
what I'm
no.
because I'm not tripping. I'm just saying that there's I'm asking you not to just expect us to deal with your differences without saying, you know who I am, but yes, but do you know who I am? Yes. Oh my God.
What, Poppy?
This shit can't get better. It just can't get better.
You guys.
From the hoes to the blows to the bros to the toes. And the TV's on level 55 effing 100. What's
This
up?
room.
That's Meredith. It says, hey, can you find out for me? Hold on. Hold on. Here. It says, hey, can you find out for me what there is for me to eat for dinner, just in case we need to order something? She sent it to the wrong person.
Hi, Poppy.
That's Moniece. He said,
Go on.
yeah.
You said instead of just saying that's how I am, but do you know
I,
who I am?
and I'm just saying there has to be a mutual consideration. So here's how I explain this. And Valerie's on here, and I was on her show recently. Here's how I explain it. If I have a condition that I can't control slapping you in the face when I get within proximity of anybody that I know and love, and I slap you every time I
You
get
gave me
close
this
enough.
analogy growing up.
The reality is it's not the person, the slaps are hurting. So
Right.
if I'm slapping you, and I know it's a condition, and it's you're saying, wow, you hurt me, and I, well, that I have a slap attack. So I mean, what's your problem? What I'm saying is, I also have a responsibility to know that this is a condition, and in order for you to be good and I'm good, I'm not going to get close enough to slap you. I'm going to stop talk to you at a distance that won't hurt you, because my behavior is hurting you. Even though it's a condition that I may not be able to control, I can control my proximity to
Oh,
you.
wait.
So,
Liz is on here. Liz, you know what? Never mind. Go ahead, Mom.
Liz,
I'm
who?
sorry. That's how I got
Good
the
night,
proof
Mary.
that the girl had stalked me, and that's how I got the screenshots. But we'll leave that. That's a private conversation. Go ahead.
Okay, be safe. You'll be here in the morning? I think that's what Sharon said. Sharon said that you were coming. I think it's you. Text each other. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I asked her today, and she said she was supposed to come, and she thought it was going to be you. Okay, I'll see you in the morning.
So you know that you have a slap attack, and you also have a responsibility.
I'm just saying that if I acknowledge that I have anything about my behavior is offensive to you or hurting you, the one I love, and I'm aware enough to know that I have a problem, then it's my job to manage the problem at least in a way that won't hurt you because I love you. That's what I'm saying. And I don't find that consideration between the two of us, because I don't want to move. I don't move like you move. And it's painful. And you know what else? Let me say this. I don't think you realize how painful it is for me to watch some of the things that you do to yourself. That's the crazy part. I want you to be happy. I want somebody to be in a situation. My thing is, Because like I said in the beginning, I find and have found, Moniece, infinite value. I think the only thing that stands in your way of soaring through the moon more than Beyonce style is the fact that you get in your own way. There's no we support you, we love you, we want you. I wish you could love you and be there for you as much as I am and have been.
Well,
Not the last 4 years.
that's the journey that I'm on for myself.
That's all I want. And
And
then
I
I'm
still
happy.
do.
And so my thing as a parent is this. The more that you can do for you, the less I have to do for you. And the less you do for yourself,
Bro, I just don't know why you think
the more I worry. You're a mother.
I
You
don't
worry all the
know why
time.
constantly. But I just don't know why you think good terms, bad terms. Who told you to get a life of your own? That's very crazy.
Me,
And that's so ridiculous. Yeah, you.
girl, I'm out
I don't
here
know
in
how
my
you
I,
feel.
I'm
I
out here in
don't
all my
know
bikinis.
how.
I'm out
Exactly.
here. I am
Pickle,
outside. You
pickle
hear me?
dicking, traveling. Marla's lost her mind. She went and got a whole life. Is crazy
I
about
got
it.
a whole big side
She
tattoo.
moved.
You haven't even seen
No, you
this. I have a tattoo right
didn't.
here that's your dad's profile on his face. And he
You
has
see what
one
I'm saying? Do you see
and
what you see what I'm saying?
and he has one of me on his other
Do
hand, and
you
his
guys
says
see what I'm
Marla,
saying? Marla
and
and
mine
David
says
lost it.
Dave. And when we hold hands, it
Marla,
creates a heart. We got a
Marla,
whole thing going on.
Marla and Dave have lost their. That's like the time I called my dad, and my dad didn't answer. And then he finally called me back and said, "What's up, sweetie? I was playing golf with my friends." Your friends? What
We might be
friends?
trying to have another baby. You don't know us.
Okay, out of their fucking minds. Anyway, you guys, it reminds me of the one time I got married. I was only married for 5. You guys know I was married for 5 months, and he pissed me off, and he was bald, and I kicked him down the steps. But I don't beat men anymore. I don't beat men. I've
And
retired.
again, and these
The
are things
pinch
I
and
talk.
twist, the pinch and twist was the hardest habit to break. You know, when you pinch their skin and twist it. I pinched his skin and I twisted it, and when he ran, I kicked him behind his kneecap, and he flew down my steps, and he was bald. So when
And
he hits
again,
the
don't brag
ball,
about this. This is bad. We keep our hands to ourselves.
I know that's what I'm saying. I don't beat men anymore. I've graduated to just leaving. First red
All right.
flag, I'm out. This is why I have a
Okay.
bush.
So I'm gonna leave. I gotta in a minute, Pot, your
Oh
grandfather's gonna
my
be yelling.
God.
Ma,
I
I
don't
can't
beat
I can't hear him.
men.
I can't hear him
My
through the
hair
mask.
is growing. My pits are growing. My puss is. I'm just growing,
I don't need to hear this.
flourishing, all by
And I
myself.
and I want you to not talk about your vagina while I'm on here.
Mom, please. My mother acts like there haven't been times where she's FaceTime
Just
me. And I've been getting dressed and she's like,
but
okay, can you put your book
FaceTime
away?
is not public.
So
I'm saying that
I'm old. I don't care. Mom, we were all born with body hair. If I
I
wasn't
don't know
supposed
what
to
your
have
body
it,
hair.
then I wouldn't give it to
You
you.
could grow a whole forest. You could
The
have a
other thing
pubic
you guys
extension. I don't care. I'm not. I'm.
do, I had a bush at 17. So for her to act like, oh, and
I'm
like
not
she
acting
had
like anything. I'm saying stay off the toilet and stay out
They
of your
used to
V while we're
tease
on face
me. They
while we're on
used to tease
Instagram.
me about my bush growing up. It was crazy. Oh, it smells like an onion patch. Oh,
Okay,
it's onion grass. But now all of a
I gave
sudden,
birth to it, so
oh,
I'm not.
talking about a bush.
I'm not they
And then my
don't
mom
know
said I had a
anything.
black. Then my mom.
How many people on
Do
here been in
you
your bush?
guys
Nobody.
remember? The live is actually still up on my page. Do you guys remember when I had the short pink pixie and we were Port St. Lucie actually visiting Poppy? And my mom said I had a black vagina when I was born, and Mimi was in the back seat. She was like, it wasn't black. And my mom said, you were born with a crispy, crusty gooch. It's on there. The proof is on there. It's on my live right now. We were in the minivan. Yep.
We have been very
Marla said I
irrelevant.
was born with a black vagina, and I wasn't.
Anyway, I do love you, Moniece. We're gonna agree going into 2026 to do better. I think that there are apologies, especially that need to be had with your sister, who didn't was not even in it.
I
And
gave her an apology here.
can you stop talking? Because as much as you are protective of your son, the cruel things you said about that baby, you don't even know him, is not right. And no mother who loves their kid is gonna be like, "Oh, that's okay. Let's just hang out." That's a wrap.
Well,
So
did you hear what I said in the beginning?
I did, but I'm saying
Okay.
I
So
want you to
now she
continue.
can take that or she can leave that.
No, Moniece.
No, because she knows the conversation we had in private, and because my sister
Lexi.
doesn't like the social
Moniece.
media. Hold on,
Moniece.
because my sister doesn't like the social media thing, I'm not even going to address her here.
Right.
I gave the apology. She can take it if
No,
she chooses to
did
take
you
it
give
and
it to
talk
her
to me.
directly? Did you call her phone?
I'm not calling her phone
Okay. Well
because
then,
she knows how I feel. Because when I
she's
called
not
her phone,
public at all.
I called her phone and told her personally to her face how I felt.
Did you say you were sorry?
Before there was ever a public word, before she was ever pregnant, before she was
No,
ever even
after you
fucking
talked
married.
about her son, have you said, yeah, I shouldn't have said those things about your
No,
baby?
I just said them in the live that I left up.
But
So
that's
she
a
could.
lie. It's not personal for her until you.
Okay.
Everyone's different.
Everybody is different. I apologize. She'll take it. She'll leave it.
Okay. See,
That's
again,
it.
meet somebody in the. So here's the final thing. I learned it in tennis. Meet the ball with the force in which it comes. That's why you and I are here, because we both participated in this platform. That is not the story between you and your sister.
Okay, well then my sister shouldn't have sat in a rocking chair and participated in a conversation
You're,
about me
you're
because she
doing it
didn't.
again.
I'm not doing it again. What I'm saying is we're not going to pick and choose when it's fair
It's not
and
about
who it's
fairness.
applicable to.
It's about your heart. You don't worry about somebody
And
else's.
my heart was, don't do that.
I'm talking about an apology. It's not about
And
that.
guess what? I apologize. I also feel some type of way. And my sister knows how I felt because I told my sister to in a private conversation. I didn't tell you about it. I don't know if she told you about it. I don't know. But I know what I said to her and I know what she said to
Hey, well,
me.
don't be
And
surprised
so
when her
for
son jumps
me,
out from behind a car and puts you in a headlock because he's
listen,
5 foot tall and he looks like a baby, but
that's
he's not really, and he
totally
jacks you.
fine. As long as Cameron loves Guy loves Cameron, Lexi loves
And you
Cameron
love
loves
each other.
Lexi. I don't stand in the way of that. I don't block it. I don't ask anybody to keep Cam away. I don't do any of that. I let y'all do you, whether I
Okay.
like it or not.
I
So,
would love for you to continue to make amends a one-way street, because it doesn't matter. It's like when I give somebody something and I give it. Well, how do you know they're not going to buy drugs? That's not my thing. If I'm going to give it to you, what you do with it is between you and God. I'm not, in other words, I'm going to give it from my heart. I'm not going to give it based on the condition of what you're going to do with what I give you. So all I'm saying to you is my apology is not going to be contingent on you or where, what, when, and how. So that's all I'm saying. And it's just something for you to think about. I'm not telling you what to do.
and maybe, and listen, I'll probably get there. I'm not there yet. And at least I'm honest enough to say that.
And I appreciate that.
I harbor
Good
some
night.
resentment, and my sister knows why, because that was a private conversation between she and I. And there were things that
She's not going to marry
transpired,
you, rock star Chevy. Get out of here with that.
and there were some conversations that took place, more than one, between she and I. And we were actually good when she reached out to me to tell me she was pregnant. And so the things that have transpired after that were offensive to me, and there was no
She's the
apology.
oldest. Moniece is the oldest. Moniece is 38. My son's 36, and Lexi's 32.
And I have two other siblings. And so there
Of
were
my
things,
kids.
I know, but I'm saying I have four siblings total.
Yeah.
And so um we were good when she reached out to tell me the news that she was pregnant. And I was the one that kept my distance. And so everything that transpired after that was offensive to me because of the private conversations and the respect that I had given her publicly and privately. And then I felt like, okay, so this is what we're doing? Bet. So I'm not there yet. I still need to
I
do
appreciate
some
that.
more personal work. And I love my sister. My sister doesn't like the social media stuff, so that's all this is the last I'm gonna say about it. I offered a public apology because I feel like the apology needs to be just as loud as the disrespect. And to me, there's a duality to that to me. It's like
Or,
if you
or the
disrespect
apology should
me,
be just as nappy as your armpit hair.
that part. So it's just like, I feel
Your
like
pits
that.
are disrespectful.
No, they're not. I feel like that applies to not just when you disrespect somebody publicly, but even when
I'm
I feel
hating.
like as a public figure, when you are tripping behind closed doors and that has trickled down, right? Like, so in other words, even though Lexi and I didn't have a public spat, right? It did overflow into your public stuff, dad's public stuff, her sitting on live with you. And so if I'm tripping privately, the first place, if I can apologize to
Oh, the
you,
rocking chair. I get it now. I remember that.
correct. So if I
I was like, what's rocking chair? I got it.
correct. And I wasn't public about it at that point. So it's like you violated me after the private conversation.
No one has violated anybody, but there's
No,
been a lot of disrespect.
that felt, there was no disrespect for me at that point to her.
I'm just saying,
So
between
that
all
was,
of us.
no, there was no disrespect between me and Lexi at that point when she did that. That is when I was like, all bets are off. Because why would you do that? I had a private conversation with you, multiple. And you said you would never do that to me, and you did it. So that's what I'm saying. Once again, a prime example of a situation becoming, family issues becoming public that I didn't bring to the internet. But then when I met you, I'm the problem.
Moniece.
So I've made a public apology.
Okay.
And I'll get to the point of making a private one eventually. If
And
that's what
I
you
received
need.
that. Now I took my water and my Excedrin, and I'm
You go.
gonna.
Yeah, you have to.
So I have to.
Yeah. You have to go and you have to kick Dad down the steps.
Dad is on tour until the 24th of December.
I figured because I called him to figure out where to send Kim's Christmas gift.
He's
And
running around singing Christmas carols with his a cappella superheroes.
I'm sure he is.
Anyway,
Right, McKnight.
you said what?
Sorry. Nothing. It's okay.
I hope you know that he's canceled. I think I heard the name that you
I
used.
said fuck Brad McKnight.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, good. Love you, Nico. Love you, BJ. Love you, Julie. Love you, Bree.
For sure. Yeah, that's another. And on Sunday again on the B. Lenore show, we're talking about estrangement, and that's one of the things that I want to. We need to speak about it, and period. And let me just say that Moniece, there's nothing in me. I'm going to keep working on how to approach it, but there's never going to be a time that I'm going to ignore personal accountability or family accountability to encourage you. Always first behind the scenes, but so let's make that oath to each other that that if it's something sensitive, it should never show back up here. Unless we agree. Okay, so we're good on that. So take your trapezes on.
No, I already took it. I'm ready to just
Okay,
my eyes will shut.
Go to sleep.
Make sure you post this, and I'll make sure that everyone knows part 2 is here on Mom's page.
Yeah, there's always room to grow. There's always better. We've said before, and David says it all the time. With a sincere apology, you can reset the clock. That's the bottom line. Because at any given point, tell me which one of us was perfect. Listen, when I had Moniece, and probably, I don't know, maybe 2-3 years later, my brother said, you have to admit, Mom is the best amongst us, and blah, blah, blah. I said, bro, let me tell you something. I said, you need to remember this. Now that I'm a parent, he didn't have kids at the time. I said, now that I'm a parent, I said, I owe Mom and Dad an apology. Because no matter what happened, I do know for a fact that my parents worked to give me every opportunity on earth, and I squandered it making choices that were not in line with what they intended. And that's tough.
Now, I will say that I've also had to make that same admission. I said from whether it was music, fashion, gymnastics, ice skating, I did say my parents gave me any whim I had, and
you were a bonehead, and so the bottom line is that's more painful.
You know what's crazy? I also said what we would never know. I didn't know if my parents were financially struggling, or because when I asked, it was never denied. Right. So I have also publicly acknowledged that. And I was the most whimsical out of them all. I've also admitted that. I went from ice skating to...
Can I respond to Taylor? They're saying you were my karma. And I don't believe that. I believe that because everybody's very different. And to me, I just worked hard to correct the places that I felt I had a deficit with my parents. That's what's real. Moniece, I think, is that your cousin, Jalen?
Who?
Jalen 26.
Hi, Jalen. I love you.
Anyway, um, so that's the truth of the matter. And so the truth of the matter is that, you're never gonna be this whole thing. It's not a karmic thing. I don't think your kids are born saying, I'm gonna get you back. I know how you acted. Of course, there's some genetic similarities in families and how they operate. But I do know for a fact that I worked hard to say to myself, this is where I felt that my parents could have been different. Not even necessarily better, because when you really start to think about it, you start to realize, shit, everybody did everything that they could when they're sound to make it work. And so that's what it is. What are you going to do? I mean, you're not talking about, there's no perfect people. And I say all the time, I can tell you that with all of my faculties and all of my resources and all of my time and I loved perfectly according to me. I was not a perfect parent or a perfect mother. And sure as hell not a perfect person. But I promise you that my every step I took was in them first, me last. Moniece kicked herself off. She got overtaken by her armpit hair. So anyway, that's that. I'm not going to continue this conversation without Moniece, because it's just not. She's the one who took the first step to make the conversation, um, and that's that. So she said her phone died, but that's fine. I'm just saying that I appreciate you guys being here. This is part 2 of a conversation. I hope that there'll be many other. Hey, Melissa, I haven't seen you in a long time. Um, this is the beginning, because we have to rebuild trust. We have to find a truth that is safe, because you can't shield yourself from your family. That's the other thing. You cannot shield yourself from your family. I told somebody, we have a team of people who work here with us, who work with my dad. And I have to be very careful, because the reality is I'm not doing inventory. Every time a caregiver walks out the door, I don't go check my wallet and check my jewelry, and because this is home, is safe. So they've been with me, and the one person who was rogue, she had to go a long time ago. But when it's your kids, that's where your longest line of suffering will come from. The grace that I have for my children, all of them, is eternal. But the responsibility that I'm now placing on them as adults is necessary. So we can have a place that works. Hold on. No teams, you better stay on the sidelines watching, because don't come trying to down my child to me. You can hate my child, but claim that you love me. Yeah, you can't. Love you too, Moniece. I don't know what's going on with this girl. I definitely love you. I didn't see that. Oh, hi. Sorry, I missed most of it. My son just got back. It's good to see you. There's some of these people that are on here because of my that I've gotten to know through my common sense political. I don't even know what to call it. I'm devastated at where we are. Just from a humane point, it's not even political as much as it is just pain. It's like, when did we choose? Oh, forget about people, only to deal about profit over people. Who did that? When did we get there? Anyway, I'm glad that you were here, March 13. Whoever was here, um, Moniece, I love you. Thank you for taking the initiative. I didn't want you to do this because B felt like it was requested of you. But I do think that it was necessary, and I'm glad that you chose to go forward with that. And this is a God moment, period, because I've done everything I can do. There was nothing else I could try. And I was just, you know, I have to be comfortable in my greatest discomfort. And like I've said a million times on some of my lives, you know, I have 3 kids, and when there's this much pain, it's not like you have a great relationship with one, so oh, I'm good, I got 2 others, I got one over here that's great. It doesn't work like that. My heart, every time a was born to me, divided in another third, another piece. So 3/3 is my whole, not 1/3, not 2/3. 3/3 is the whole. So you don't come to any resolution, you just die 1,000 cuts and just realize that you have, the cuts are enough to hurt, but they're not enough to cause you to bleed out. So you learn to live with the pain. Period. So, um, yeah, Moniece, I still want that fight. I want it for my birthday. You and me in a sumo suit. You got to get stronger though, because I'm still in the gym and doing stuff. You know, I don't want to hurt you, and I'm so much taller than you. You're the smallest thing that's in our lives. Okay, so your little 5'3", 5'4" self, and my 5'8", 140. You know, fit. Yeah, got my gains. I will bounce you out of the ring. Hmm. Well, we're gonna wear sumo suits so we don't really physically hurt each other. But I think that we should tag team. All right, that would be bomb, right, Melissa? Anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining her. Thank you for joining me. You can join me Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and it'll be a conversation with my mother and myself on the B Lenore show, and we will be talking about estrangement. Okay. All right. Bye. I can't wait to finish my teeth. There's gonna be no more lime green phone flashbacks. Okay. And I'm gonna end, since she's not here. I'm gonna end, and I'm gonna say this: I did not punch her, but I slapped the shit out of her. That is fact. So as Moniece is running around here on Love and Hip Hop talking about snatch and grab, you knew who to snatch and grab. Don't try me. She tried the wrong mama on that day. She does, obviously. I don't know who she's running from, but she's not doing a good job, because how you gonna have 5 phones and all of them die? What what kind of emergency can you gonna get out of? Yeah, trust me, she deserved it. All right, guys, bye.